Gotta be honest here. I feel like I'm the only one of the very few people that is kind of excited about this fight. But I'm excited for different reasons that other people might be excited for it. Some people just watch UFC fights just to watch them. It's something to watch on TV on a Saturday night. But I like to see two people who put their all into their sport, that give performances that may or may not be memorable, but you can see the blood, sweat, and tears that they put into the sport and they want to win. That's why I like the sport. Two competitors, two people. I mean, it's somewhat of an ego driven sport, right? It's two people that think they're better than the other person. Otherwise, they think they can beat the other person. And that's what we have here. We have Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo. I'm excited for different reasons. I've been watching some of their trainings. It seems like they're really giving their all into this. And that's what I like to see. I like to see people outside of injuries, which they can't predict. We can't predict. We can't see. They may or may not disclose. They're going to be at their 100% best when they step inside that octagon. Outside of all excuses of, you know, whatever it could be going on, they're going to be at their best. And that's what I like to see. Two strong competitors at their best going head to head to figure out who is going to be the best, who is going to win. And honestly, I don't know who's going to win this one. I can see the matchup in my mind. It can go many ways. Aljo, he's really been getting, you know, he's been getting a lot of takedowns lately. I mean, not obviously not against like pure wrestlers, but he's been getting them. This time he's facing somebody who's an Olympic gold medalist, so the takedowns may not be there. Is his stand up good enough to keep it on the feet? Will he be able to trap Henry's leg and get his back and do what he's been doing to, for the most part, most of his opponents? I don't know. We'll have to see when the fight happens. Henry, he hasn't really been posting too much of his training, but he has been training for over 9 months, which is more than the usual training camp. So if you see Aljo, he's been training with pretty much everybody. He's been training with almost all the 135 pounders. If you just look on his YouTube channel, he's been training with everybody. Henry, he's brought in a team specifically for this fight. New strength and conditioning coach. So we're going to see who's the better competitor. Like I said, I don't know who's going to win this fight. I know Henry's been training a little bit with Demetrius Johnson. And I like iron sharpens iron. You get a little bit of rub when you face somebody. They've been in the octagon twice. And then Aljo, he's been, training with all types of different people. I like the way Aljo trains. He trains right. He trains smart. He trains hard. And that's why his performances speak for itself. But I gotta be honest. I'm just not. It doesn't matter what I think. At the end of the day, a win is a win. You're gonna win. You need to win. You get your show money, and then you get your win money, and that's the whole point. Outside, you got bills to pay, right? Outside of what fans think, outside of what critics think, you're going in there to win. Is he a world beater, or he's just somebody who just knows how to win? Is he a fighter, or is he an athlete? I've seen his stand-up. His stand-ups are just kind of there. He kind of peppers you up just to kind of get to the takedown, get a single leg. It's not the most exciting of fights, unfortunately. And that's where he gets a lot of flack for. Henry has the stand-up, the knockout power, the takedown defense, and the takedowns. So I feel like he has more ways to win. We don't know. Maybe he brings Henry to the trenches. Depending on how hard Henry has prepared. Like I said, we haven't seen much of his training on his YouTube channel like that. He likes to kind of hide that. We know what Aljo's strengths are. He likes to get to the back, get this triangle, and look for a submission. That's one thing. Is he a Khabib level? Is he a Khamzat level? I don't think so. So that's unfortunately, it doesn't make for an exciting fight. At least GSP. The thing about GSP was he had the Canadian voice. He was like this purebred martial artist that nobody's seen with all these muscles, big quads. He kind of marketed himself well, right? He would be like, say things after a fight, I'm not impressed with your performance. And just little things like that made him stand out and be somewhat of a star. And then obviously Canada had huge support for him as well, which matters. He's kind of like Anderson Silva at the time. We considered Anderson Silva like a Bruce Lee type of character at the time. What can Aljamain Sterling do Besides doing what he's done, he needs to figure out a way. He's got all this muscle, cuts down from, I don't know, 170 pounds to 135 pounds. I mean, dude's jacked. But he doesn't have knockout power. He needs to figure out a way to get that. You need at least one or two in the list. At least one or two. At least one or two. His grappling isn't on Khabib's level. He doesn't say have this like Russian accent. He's like, send me location, and have this beef with another star Connor, and I'm gonna smash your chicken, and all this stuff. He doesn't have any of those catchphrases. All this stuff matters, unfortunately. It's all part of marketing. It's all part of marketing yourself and making yourself be a big star. Marketing is, unfortunately, as part of the game. He's a champion. He has to put on shows, and he's the main event at that too. He can't do anything about TJ having a shoulder injury, people's shoulders popping out. I mean, he tried his best in the Petr Yan's second fight to go for a submission and go for a victory. He knew he had a path to win. I mean, the same thing goes with Tyron Woodley and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. You have to fight people a certain way. You have to. Otherwise, you're going to lose. Tyron Woodley stayed against the cage, waited for Stephen Thompson to come in so he can bull rush him, get a takedown or a heavy punch. And it worked. And you see everybody else, how they're struggling with him. He's an elite striker. Certain people, you just have to fight a certain way. And it's going to be boring to the fans. This is what it is. Outside of his Sandhagen victory, obviously, he looked like a world beater there. I don't even know where he's ranked in the UFC top 10. Is he even in top? I'm pretty sure he's in top 10. Most champions are in top 10. I mean, Leon just got the belt and he's in top 10. I think he's like 5. If I had to put my money on it, I'll put it on Aljamain. He just seems like, I don't know, just like these weird traps that he catches people in with kicks, and like he's able to put people in these weird situations. I think he has a good chance of winning, but I also see Henry possibly knocking out Aljamain Sterling. It just depends. Honestly, I mean, I hate to say it this way. I feel like it all depends on Henry. How he comes in, how he trains, how he performs. It depends on who wins the fight. Because honestly, let's be honest. He's not a one-trick pony, but for the most part, we know what he's going to do. And Henry has the answers for those. He's a wrestler, an Olympic gold medalist wrestler at that, and he trains that hard. So yeah, that's what I think. Is anybody actually excited for this fight? Does anybody care about this fight? It's a main event, so I'm sure people are going to watch it, but this is my thoughts on it.